Pull up your calendar from last week because I want you to look at it. Be honest with yourself. How much of that time was spent actually building something and how much was just reacting to fires you accidentally started yourself? Most people quit their 9 to 5 because they wanted freedom. They wanted to be their own boss. But after a few months, they realized they've hired the most demanding, disorganized, and relentless boss they've ever had, themselves. They're working more hours for less certainty, and the freedom they dreamt of has turned into a laptop screen that follows them into bed at 11 p.m. I've spent years analyzing the difference between the solopreneurs who burn out in 6 months and the ones who build quiet, highly profitable empires from a home office. It's not about who has the better logo or who's hustling the hardest. It's about 7 specific habits that turn a chaotic one-person shop into a professional machine. If you're tired of feeling like a glorified freelancer and you're ready to start acting like a founder, these 7 habits are your roadmap. The first habit is what I call the scoreboard mentality. Most solopreneurs wake up and check their email. That's their first mistake. By checking your email, you've handed the keys to your day to everyone else's priorities. You're playing defense before the game has even started. Highly effective solopreneurs play offense. They have a scoreboard, a single primary metric that tells them if they're winning or losing. I knew a solo app developer who spent 4 hours a day polishing the UI of his app. He felt productive, but his user growth was flat. When he switched to a scoreboard mentality, he realized his only metric that mattered was new signups. If he wasn't doing something that directly moved that number, he wasn't allowed to call it work. He stopped being an artist who was busy and started being a CEO who was effective. You have to be brutal with your data. If you can't look at your day and see exactly how it moved your scoreboard, you didn't work, you just vibrated. The second habit is the creation of the minimum viable system. The biggest trap of being a solopreneur is believing that because you can do everything, you should. You're the salesperson, the technician, the bookkeeper, and the customer support agent. This works when you have 2 clients. It collapses when you have 10. The effective solopreneur builds a manual for their business as they go. I call this the machine. Even if you have no intention of ever hiring an employee, you should act as if you're going to hire your replacement tomorrow. If you're a freelance ghostwriter, don't just write. Document the exact process you use to research, outline, and edit. When you turn a task into a system, you stop relying on your willpower and start relying on your infrastructure. Willpower is a finite resource that runs out by 3 p.m. A system works while you sleep. The goal isn't to be a hero. The goal is to be a designer. The third habit is the deep work fortress. We live in a world designed to steal your attention and sell it to the highest bidder. Every notification, every quick Slack message, and every intro call is a withdrawal from your cognitive bank account. Highly effective solopreneurs understand the law of switching costs. It takes your brain about 20 minutes to reach deep creative focus, but it only takes a 2-second ping on your phone to ruin it. I've seen solo consultants who are brilliant at their craft, but never reach their full potential because they're addicted to the noise. The habit is simple, but painful. 4 hours of total solitude every morning. No phone in the room. No browser tabs that aren't essential. Total silence. If you can give the world 4 hours of deep, focused work on your primary objective, you will outpace 99% of your competition who are spending their day collaborating on things that don't matter. If you're sitting there right now feeling like you're drowning in that noise, if you know you're the bottleneck and you're tired of the grind never leading to actual growth, we built something to help you stop the cycle. If you want to start fixing your business today, you can download our free checklist. It takes about 15 minutes to go through, but it's designed to help you audit your current operations and reclaim 10+ hours of your week by showing you exactly what to automate and what to delete. You can find the link in the description below. The fourth habit is asset creation over service delivery. This is the difference between having a business and having a job. A job is where you trade an hour of your life for $1 of their money. If you stop working, the money stops. That is a dangerous way to live. Highly effective solopreneurs are obsessed with turning their labor into assets. If you're a consultant, don't just give advice, build a framework, a template, or a recorded course that can solve the problem without your presence. I knew a solo designer who was exhausted from client revisions. He spent 2 weeks building a set of premium design templates and sold them as a digital product. Suddenly, he was making more money from the asset he built once than he was from the service he performed 100 times. Your goal should be to make sure that today's work makes tomorrow's work easier or unnecessary. If you're only doing things that require your hands to be on the tools forever, you aren't a founder, you're a laborer. The fifth habit is ruthless subtraction. As your business grows, you will be bombarded with opportunities, new partnerships, new platforms, new niches. Your ego will want to say yes to all of them because it feels like growth. But for a solopreneur, yes is a dangerous word. Every new opportunity is a new complexity that requires your time. The most effective solopreneurs I know have an anti-to-do list. They're constantly looking for things they can stop doing. They realize that 80% of their results come from 20% of their activities. They have the courage to fire the B- clients who take up 80% of their headspace. They have the discipline to stop posting on 5 social media platforms so they can dominate one. Strategy is not about what you do, it's about what you choose not to do. If you want to grow, you don't need to add, you need to prune. The sixth habit is the feedback loop of truth. Solopreneurs are prone to founder's delusion. Because there's no boss to tell you you're being an idiot, you can spend months working on a product that nobody wants. You get high on your own ideas. Effective solopreneurs have the habit of seeking the punch in the face as early as possible. They don't spend 6 months perfecting something in secret. They build a minimum viable product and put it in front of a paying customer in 6 days. They want the truth. They want the no. They understand that a no today is $1,000 saved in wasted time tomorrow. They look at their conversion rates, their churn, and their profit margins with clinical detachment. They don't care about their feelings. They care about what the market is actually doing. If you aren't regularly letting the market tell you you're wrong, you aren't a solopreneur. You're a hobbyist with an expensive imagination. The seventh and perhaps most important habit is mental maintenance. When you are the business, your brain is your only infrastructure. If the infrastructure breaks, the business dies. Most solopreneurs treat their bodies and minds like a rental car they intend to return trashed. They skip the gym, they live on caffeine, and they haven't read a book wasn't about business in years. But the elite solopreneurs, the ones who stay in the game for decades, treat themselves like a high-performance athlete. They schedule their recovery with the same intensity they schedule their sales calls. They understand that a rested, clear mind can solve in 10 minutes what a tired, stressed mind can't solve in 10 hours. They take CEO sabbaticals, days where they go for a long walk with no electronics, just to think. You are not a machine, you are a gardener. You have to tend to the soil if you want the plants to grow. Becoming a highly effective solopreneur isn't about working more, it's about being more. It's about having the self-awareness to realize when you're being a manager and when you're being a visionary. It's about the discipline to build systems that protect your time and assets that protect your future. Most people will listen to this and go right back to checking their email and reacting to the noise. But if you're part of the 1% who actually implements these habits, you'll find that the freedom you were looking for isn't just a dream. It's a predictable result of a well-designed life. Are you ready for the complete self-running business system? We've spent years perfecting the exact blueprint we use to build businesses that run entirely without us, and we've put it all into what I truly believe is the best business course on the market. We don't just give you theories, we show you the step-by-step systems to automate your growth and reclaim your life. You can sign up 100% free, no credit card required, and get instant access to the full course intro right now. The link is in the description, and it's the very next video you see on your screen.
The world doesn't need more hustlers who are one bad week away from a breakdown. It needs founders who have the wisdom to build something that stands on its own. You've done the hard part. You had the courage to start. Now have the discipline to finish the architecture. Your future self is waiting for you to stop doing and start building. And I'll see you there.